So, let's see. It started with a trip Andrew and I took to England, where we went to a place called Sarastro, which if you are going to London, you've been to London, I mean, you have to go to Sarastro on opera night, which is not every night. It's, I think, on Sunday and Monday. So if you go to their website, you'll see, they have the opera menu. And what it is you go, and this place was like designed by like theatrical artists. The whole place is so crazy to look at. I mean, there's like little theater boxes that you sit in, and everything is sort of gold encrusted with gold paint, obviously. And they've got painting on every surface, decorative painting, and it's just very difficult to describe. But anyway, Zubin wants to say hello. You go on the opera night, and you, like I said, you get sat in a little box or whatever. And as you're placing your order for your food, they have the Dancing String Quartet, who is a feature of London. You can also see them in Covent Garden. And they dance, as you're, getting your starters. They walk around and they're playing music. And then as the main course comes, the opera people come in. And I've seen it, sometimes there's a guy and a girl, sometimes there's two girls. They get different people in to sing opera to you while you are eating. And it's very casual. They walk amongst the tables, and there's a piano at the front of the restaurant that plays. And it's just an amazing experience. And often there are people who are not expecting it, like their relatives have just brought them there saying, oh, we're going out to dinner. And then the opera starts and they're like, holy cow, what is going on here? So Sarastro is a fantastic experience. But how does it relate to opera in your community, right? So I started out volunteering for the Opera Guild of Rochester, just doing their Facebook page, just posting local events that are coming up. And as time rolled on a little bit, another volunteer came, and her name was Mary, and she just is the kind of person who gets things done. And she made a communications committee, and, we got to talking about events we could do in town. It's like, why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? And so I said, well, we have a lot of singers in Rochester because, we have the Eastman School here. We have a lot of talented people in town. And I said, I don't understand why something like this Sarastro, and I described it to them, doesn't happen here. Why? I mean, it would be so easy. Why? Why don't we have this? So I'm the kind of person who's like, why don't we have this? And I just complain. But Mary is the kind of person who gets things to happen. So she's like, fine, we're going to do this. So in order to have something like our Bravo nights, you need a couple things. You need a little bit of money, maybe. And you need a venue that has a piano. Unless your crowd is okay with the keyboard, the electric keyboard, which, I mean, it's a little controversial in the world of opera. So if you can find a place with a piano, that's the best way. So, we mulled our heads over this for a while. Where were we going to find somewhere? And I'm like, why are we reinventing the wheel, trying to figure out, where to go, different bars and restaurants and places in town. So the movie theater that shows the opera at the Royal Opera Transmissions has a cafe attached to it, which has live music at it. They have a piano. So I said, let's just, before we go out into the world trying to figure out how we're going to bring music to a place that maybe doesn't have music, let's just, training wheels, have our first events at this cafe where there's already a piano and they already have live music there and all that. So we're still there. 3 years in. It's Bravo nights happen every 3 or 4 months at this cafe, which you hear cafe and you kind of probably just think coffee. But hi, Nancy. Good morning. I'm talking about a fun local opera event we did last night called Bravo Night. And So this cafe also has wine, of course, and food. So we promote the event as free, but you can buy food and drink. And so what we talked to the organizer there, and she was like all excited to bring opera to the venue. So our part is we find two singers. They find their own accompanists. Sometimes they have two accompanists for each person, or they have share one. And this place actually will provide funds for a musical group to perform. So we have a little bit of money like that. And the Opera Guild kicks in a little bit of money to fill it out. And then we pass the tip jar, which is the important part. I mean, because that people are generous in the face of such beautiful music. So you need a couple singers. And we've had, both young students or more experienced singers. So you need a couple singers. And, as remote as you are, there's almost always some singers around. They may have not performed professionally, but they've probably, maybe they got educated and decided they weren't going to go into an opera career, but they're still around. And so you need two singers, tiny bit of money, and a venue that has a piano. And if you don't have a venue with a piano, the whole electric keyboard thing can work. I have seen it done. So, some opera fans are a little hesitant on the whole electric keyboard thing, but it will work. So, and then you need to promote it and get people in their seats, and then they just love it. And the nice thing is this place is attached to a small independent movie theater, so they hear the opera singing, and they come in and they experience something new. So Bravo night was last night. We had a great time. The weather's a little dodgy, so maybe the crowd was a little light at the beginning, but they filled out. And I wore this. It's like a velvet jacket because I figure, Valentine's Day is coming up and the time of sort of opulent velvet look is probably closing down. And I never leave the house. So I'm like, oh, I'm going out. I can wear that dressy thing. So, and I also, because you go into the opera, I like to dress it up. I have my big glittery earrings. So I'm dressed up because, well, for me, dressed up, because, I'm jeans and t-shirt. I do not, black jeans and Skechers to the opera is as dressy as I get. But I like to dress up with the earrings and the, top. And the guy I'm ordering some food from, he's like, are you performing tonight? I was like, no. So one of my questions is this over the top? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was, just going to the opera. You want to dress up a little bit, right? So that was kind of crazy. I'm like, am I over the top here? I don't know. So I just want to encourage you to think about it. You don't need to have an opera guild to have a Bravo night type event. You can call it what you want. You just need a couple singers and you need a place that people can get a drink or a coffee at. And, the singers usually, we just are like, we've set this up. Now we've chosen you two singers. Go for it. Just, go for it. You can, we like them to be casual. You don't have to be in a ball gown. We like them to sing some songs that are recognizable, so it's not really esoteric stuff for beginners. We have real beginning opera fans that attend. So, and they have to tell you about the songs they are singing, give you some context as to what's going on, because obviously you don't have super titles or anything like that. So it was a lot of fun. And that was I just want to encourage you to think about ways that you can bring opera into your community that are kind of casual. They don't have to be, big. You don't have to have costumes and sets. You can just bring a little opera out into the community. It's easy to do. And then, wow, are you really an opera ambassador? Oh, yeah. So think about it. You might think, oh, that'll never work here. But, then you might drive by some little bar or restaurant that and think, maybe that would work there. So how can you bring more opera to your neighborhood? There's a way. Okay, if you got any other ideas, share them in the comments. Talk to you later.